Hey listeners, you're listening to the Season 2 trailer of the Midnight Readers podcast. Grab some tea, a midnight snack, and cuddle up in bed as we dive deep into today's most popular fantasies, sci-fi, and mysteries. We're your hosts. I'm Lily.
I'm Brittany.
And I'm Christy.
This season we'll be discussing the heart-pounding military fantasy that's part Hunger Games and part How to Train Your Dragon. That's right, grab your flight jacket. We're headed to Beskayeth.
A dragon without its rider is a tragedy. A reader without their book, or this podcast, is dead. Welcome to the revolution. My best advice, don't die, and don't worry, we most likely won't eat our allies.
Before we get too far, this is your warning for major spoilers ahead. Throughout the season, we'll be discussing these books in depth. This includes potentially all Empyrean series materials, including bonus chapters and interviews with the author. We are also avid fans of the Moss universe and might accidentally let spoilers slip there as well. Sorry in advance.
So, if you haven't read Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, and Onyx Storm, pause real quick, go read the books, and come back later. Or if you're feeling adventurous, full steam ahead. Like the books, this podcast is rated R, so be warned.
Also, a friendly reminder to please like, subscribe, and follow. You can find us on Instagram, Threads, Facebook, and YouTube.
So this is just a heads up about the differences you'll see in Season 2 of the podcast. For one, at this time, we have all currently read the full text of Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, as well as the bonus Xaden chapters.
As of the date we are recording this, Onyx Storm has not been released yet, but we have of course read the first two, so during our coverage of Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, we will be sharing opinions, thoughts, feelings, theories, and such, but we won't be reacting to the text for the first time like we did with Zodiac, at least for two of us. And we won't be spending as much time on details of the story for books 1 and 2.
However, for Onyx Storm, while we will be binge reading it as soon as it comes out, we will spend a little more time on the individual chapters than the previous two books during our weekly show. And if you have interacted with us on social media, whether through our post or yours, you may get a shout out and we may discuss your comments on air.
So I just wanted to say, in case you missed our trailer for Season 1, this book, from my perspective, is the book that brought us together. Lily decided to read it, and I had already had it checked out from Libby, so she convinced me to read it, and then eventually we also dragged Christy into our little group, and because of that start, we became who we are today, and I found my found family, and I don't know what I would do without y'all.
I think that's one of the awesome things about this book and why we love it so much is it's really like, it's like our beginning. I'm gonna cry. Like,
it's our origin story.
It's our origin. I still remember, do you remember when we were working at the library and I saw the book and I picked it up and I was like, oh my God, there's dragons on this. And I just remember being like, oh my gosh, this looks like the coolest book ever. And I started reading it, and before I knew it, you had finished it before me. And I was like, I can't believe you stayed up all night and read it before I did.
Yeah. Literally, I had gotten the notification on Libby that it had checked out the day before I saw you reading it. And I was like, I am one of those people who have to have the whole series out before I start reading it or I go crazy. But I was just like, no, this is a sign. I have to read it now and I want to read it with you. And it's just been the funnest time.
Yes.
And Brittany is the most insanely fast reader.
Yes.
Ever.
Yeah. I mean, when you have nothing else to do.
Well, when you don't want to do anything else.
Or you don't want to do anything. Or you're ADHD and your brain must focus on 3 things at once. So listening to an audiobook is one of them.
Truly. Yeah. And I think it says so much that our little like logo has the dragon on it and everything. I think we just that is our spiritual podcast guide.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And yeah, I'm so glad that we read it together and that all of us started talking about it and we got Christy to read it. And I'm thrilled.
Yeah, usually I don't read the same book twice in 1 year unless I get into a cycle. And I did so that we could read it with Christy.
Yeah.
And then after Iron Flame came out, I totally got stuck in a cycle of Fourth Wing Iron Flame, Fourth Wing Iron Flame.
Which is insane.
Mhm. All right. So, first question. Who's your favorite character besides Xaden, Brittany? Because we all know he's yours.
He is mine. If I had to choose from somebody other than Xaden, it would probably be Rhiannon.
I thought you would say that. Yeah.
I love her.
She's great. I think
Mhm.
I have a weird affinity for Sawyer. I'm not quite sure what it is, but I love him. And
He's just a sweetheart.
he is. And if Rebecca Yarros hadn't ripped my heart out, then Liam probably would have been my favorite. But it's fine.
Yeah.
I think Sawyer kind of marches to the beat of his own drum.
Yeah, I really like him. And honestly, I'm very scared for his fate. I feel nervous about him for the upcoming book. So, yeah.
What about you, Christy?
So can you guess who my favorite character would be?
Ooh,
Riddick.
I was going to say Riddick, but I don't know. Taryn. It's Taryn.
Yep.
Taryn.
It's
Taryn.
Taryn.
Of course it's Taryn.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Can I change my answer?
It's like, wait, dragons count too. That makes so much sense. Yeah. What about you guys?
Yes.
What are your favorite scenes in Fourth Wing?
So, in the series, I have a favorite scene in the series as a whole.
I think I know what it is. Is it the
I wonder.
throne scene?
It is not the throne scene, though. That ranks up there. It's actually the scene where Xaden shows up after Violet's been tortured.
Oh, yeah.
I dream about that scene.
Oh, my gosh.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
If Brittany could swoon, then she would.
That declaration of love. Like,
yeah.
Oh.
So good.
Oh, yeah. What about you,
even
Lily?
Dane was like, I almost fell in love with him.
I don't know. I don't know what my favorite scene is. I think the first thing that comes to mind for me is the scene at presentation where they're going through all the dragons for the first time. I think it's because there's some anticipation there, and also because it's the first time we really get up close to the dragons and kind of like start seeing that they have personalities, and like we meet Andarna, and there's just like some really fun things happening, and also the characters like kind of come to life in that too, in their interactions with the dragons. So I think that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's mine is right after the gauntlet with Andarna, and when Violet steps in to save her, and then of course Tyrion comes in and
Threshing,
and I think that's one long scene, isn't it? The scene that goes from the field up to roll call, or not roll call, but when they give their names. I guess it is roll call, but
the scene where they've finished threshing and they're coming up towards the end. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, when they give their names, and she goes up and she gives Tyrion's name, and then it's like, you know, and Andarna's like, me too. Andarna she's like, let me put another name.
And she's like,
but
huh?
yeah,
chaos ensues.
Yeah.
That whole part I love, but I love that scene in the field with Andarna when she is protecting her. That's the core of what I love about Violet.
Absolutely.
All right. So which do you think that you would be best at? Parapet, hand-to-hand challenges, the gauntlet, or threshing?
What if I said I would fail all of them? I don't think I was built to be a rider, but then again, one of the beautiful things about Fourth Wing is that Violet is not built to be a writer either. And she kind of gives those of us with chronic illness some hope. I was going to say maybe the hand-to-hand challenges.
Same. I'd also fail at, I might be okay at parapet when I was younger.
Yeah.
Now I have no sense of I walk into walls kind of balance. So I wouldn't be good at any of them. But if I had to choose one that I would be best at, it's definitely hand to hand because I'm an Aries and I can totally throw a punch.
You and I have been in some fights. What about Christy? I feel like it's probably threshing. Maybe.
The dragons would love you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think running up to them and being like, hugs, I think I would die pretty quickly.
I don't know.
Kind of like Brittany said, when I was younger, I probably would have said the gauntlet. Done a couple tough mutters, and I love them, but at this point, no. I would die very quickly. So yeah, maybe threshing, I can hand out dragon hugs.
I think the dragons would love how fierce you are about protecting others as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. What about my favorite question? What do you guys think that your signet power would be?
I feel egotistical saying this.
Go off.
But lightning.
Lightning?
Because I got some rage. And I need to smite my enemies.
That's pretty accurate. Yeah. I could see that. I think, I don't know, I think mine would be something more along the lines of Rhiannon's. Something that's a little less physical, I think. I think that her and Sawyer's are fun. Like, Sawyer can bend metal. I guess that's physical. But also Rhiannon can move things from place to place. And I feel like that's super useful. I also really like the idea of messing with someone's mind. But I feel like I wouldn't be that type of person. So I'm going to stick with Rhiannon's maybe.
Okay. I think some sort of water wielding for me.
Water.
Something with water. Yeah.
Okay. Why water?
So
I love water. That's the place I'm most at peace with. That's my place of peace. It always feels like part of my soul is with the water. So
okay.
I could see that being the case.
Lily, when you were talking, my brain immediately remembered. I don't know if this is, it's probably not in your core to need to know this, but I was thinking truthsayer for you because when you first joined the library, you were told about me and basically things were said that weren't true. And you stood back and were like, let me see this for myself. And you saw the truth of me. And so, yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Really sweet.
What does this episode become? This trailer is just us loving on each other.
Yeah. No. But I could totally see you as a truthsayer.
Thank you. That's very sweet. Aww. And cool.
And Christy, I could totally see you as, it's not a known signet yet, but I'm making it up. You can communicate with animals.
100%.
Yes.
100%.
And have them, like, not control them necessarily, but
they become her army
with you.
Without her even asking. I could just see her being like that girl from Sky High. Have you guys seen Sky High? Where Layla's like, there's this scene where Layla's like throwing her hands out and all these like plants come out.
Like,
yeah, the movie
Disney show?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Layla, the one that controls like the plants and stuff, where at the end where she like does like this and like her hands come out and all the plants come out with her. That's you, but with animals.
See, I could totally do that. I could be like the baby dragon babysitter.
Oh, that's perfect for you. That is perfect for you. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
Absolutely.
Sometimes I think about how Andarna has the little paws and I just want to touch them.
How did I miss that last time? I don't know, but she's so cute.
I just want to be
I picture my dog's paws, but like really
but
big.
Yeah, like really big. I agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually, Hanji's paws is who I look at because they're so fuzzy and big.
He does have big paws.
Little Antarna.
It's so cute.
Will be. I bet she's going to be a monster. Ooh, I can't wait. All right. So, favorite trope in these books and least favorite. It also, so this is something I'm not as familiar with. I am just kind of getting started reading these books through you guys. So it wasn't really a genre I was familiar with. So can you also explain a little bit about what a trope is?
So tropes are they're kind of like cliches, but
kind of.
They're writing elements. There's like enemies to lovers, arranged marriage, friends to lovers, things like that.
It's like a
chosen one. They're just common themes in books.
Things that happen, things that happen commonly in as a literary device to help a book move along, and maybe not help a book move along, depending on which one it is. Which is to piggyback off that, my least favorite trope is miscommunication. I despise it. I hate reading it every time. I will read it if the book's good, but it is so hard for me to get through them. Yeah, super frustrating.
Yeah. My least favorite is also miscommunication, only because in this book, there's no pregnancy trope. But miscommunication in this book is horrible, and it is insanely dragged out, and it's okay maybe in smaller amounts. I can deal with it, but it was just a lot.
Iron Flame is a lot of it. Yeah.
Yeah. And Onyx Storm better not have any.
I swear to God, if it's more of the same, I will freak out. I will freak out because I want it to be so good. I think
what are your favorite tropes?
My favorite, it's not quite forced proximity, but it is.
Is it?
The fact that
I feel like you're gonna say what my favorite is.
The fact that Xaden and Violet are tied to each other and they can't not be together.
No, that's forced proximity. That's definitely forced proximity.
Even though it's not physical proximity.
Mm-hmm. So mine is sort of forced proximity, but not as well. My favorite is the one bed trope. I don't know why. It's my favorite. It's always been my favorite. I think it's funny every time, and I enjoy it every time. I am an avid romance reader, so if it's got the one bed trope in it, I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled.
I also love the one bed trope.
Yeah.
But it doesn't show up in these books.
I know. Maybe one day. I don't know.
Unless you count the fact that, she just has to stay in Xaden's room, and his room only has one bed in it.
Yeah. Yeah. It works every time. I don't know what to say. Another one of my favorite tropes is probably... Wow, I lost it. What the fuck? It went right out of my brain. What was it?
What about like a damsel in distress?
Enemies to lover? Not so.
No.
Not so much.
How about heroine in distress?
Never.
So you don't like it if Xaden swoops in to save Violet?
I mean, it's cute, but I don't like it as a trope. I like
it when, for instance, she's being tortured in Iron Flame. She is on her way out as Xaden arrives. So I like the action of the MMC going to save the girl, even though she's already saved herself. Happens a lot in Mercy Thompson, too.
Yeah.
So you like more of the team, not so much one saving the other, but a team effort.
I like the intention to save her, not necessarily the actual saving of her.
Okay.
I think we discussed this with Zodiac Academy, but the one I was going to say is, besides the one bed is the destined to be together kind of
Fated mates.
Not necessarily fated mates. I do love fated mates, but that's a part of the destined to be together one. So like it might not have to be like a supernatural force bringing them together, but it's more like, oh, this all of these things are coming together to show like, oh, we were meant to meet. I like those.
Okay. Satan and
Yeah.
Violet.
Yeah. I'm so excited.
All right.
All right. Well, now that we've talked about the books and we're so excited, and we hope that you guys are excited too, I'll end this trailer here, and we hope you guys will join us for this season's full discussion of the Empyrean series coming soon. You can also check out Season 1's in-depth review of the Zodiac Academy series, available now on all major podcast platforms, and we'll see you next week with a new one.
Please remember to like, subscribe, and follow us on social media. That like and follow are super important for us to continue to bring you new episodes each week. So please, please, please do so. Thank you for listening to the Midnight Readers podcast. We'll see you next week.
Happy reading, listeners. Don't stay up too late.